Today, I want to share a little story with you. It's about something as simple as a promise for a dosa, but believe me, it carries a huge lesson about what we value and why. It's a really beautiful one.
So picture this. You've got the grandest, most expensive hotel in the city. You know, the type, all shiny floors and fancy lights. And walking right through the front door is a father and daughter who, well, they just don't seem to fit in. You can't help but ask yourself, what are they doing here?
All right, so let's zoom in on this moment, their unexpected arrival, and see what happens next.
What we see is a man dressed very humbly. His clothes are clearly worn, even torn. And with him is his daughter, probably about 15 or 16. They find an empty table and quietly sit down, almost looking like a little island in this big, fancy room.
I mean, this contrast is really what sets the whole scene. You have their simple, torn clothing on one side, and on the other, you have the absolute peak of luxury. You can just feel the tension in the air between these two completely different worlds. And then, a waiter walks over to their table. And you might be holding your breath, wondering how this is going to go. But he doesn't stare, he doesn't judge, he just professionally places 2 glasses of cold water in front of them. It's such a small thing, but in this context, it feels huge.
He then asks that simple, standard question. But right here, in this moment, you just feel like everything is hanging on their answer. What could they possibly order in a place like this?
And the father's response, well, it reveals this absolutely beautiful reason for them being there. Turns out, this wasn't a random stop. It was the end of a journey.
The father explains it all. He made a promise to his daughter. He told her that if she worked hard and came in first place in the entire district for her exams, he would bring her here to the biggest hotel in the city for a dosa. And just like that, with one sentence, how we see them completely flips. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. First place, not just in her class, not just in her school, but in the entire district. That is an incredible achievement. And suddenly, those torn clothes, they don't matter at all. What matters is the incredible talent and dedication that earned them that seat. You realize they belong in that hotel, maybe more than anyone else there.
So, as you can probably guess, this story isn't really about the dosa. It opens up into this much bigger, much more important lesson about how we see people and what we consider valuable. And here's the core message, the real heart of the story. It's such a powerful reminder to always look past the surface. Someone's circumstances, like poverty, don't define who they are or what they're capable of. The real gold is their talent, their hard work. And the story is really telling us that it's our job to recognize that, to respect it, and to encourage it wherever we find it.
You can almost break this down into 3 simple steps for us to follow in our own lives. First, you have to consciously look beyond what you see on the outside. The torn clothes, the humble background. Second, you have to actually recognize the achievement for what it is. In this case, a massive academic victory. And finally, and maybe most importantly, you have to encourage that potential. That father's promise, that simple dosa, was the ultimate act of encouragement. It was him telling his daughter that her brilliance deserves to be celebrated in the best place in town.
So all of this leaves us with one final big question to think about. In this entire story, who is truly wealthy? Is it the hotel, with all its money and luxury, or is it the father, who has so much integrity, and the daughter, who has a brilliant, promising future? It really makes you stop and think about what wealth truly means.